Thank you very much indeed. This match, much like the closing match of the afternoon session, for me at least, very difficult to have an opinion as to who will win. I think it's far, far too close to call.
Yeah, I agree, Phil. And Mario He winning the lag. And I think both guys show a bit of nerves at times. Of course, we've seen it with Kazakis in big moments, but we've also seen him shine in big moments. And I'll tell you, early in the tournament, Mario He is as tough as it comes.
And also, technically, when he's playing well, he looks $1 million. Maybe there, Jeremy, taking a leaf out of Eklund Kachi's book.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it was 100%, but he certainly didn't back off the break right there. And I think as the event goes, you're going to see a bit more of that. Now, the issue is who can really do it? You know, a lot of the players, they're trying to control the break a little bit, but that has a little bit to do with can they really amp it up and keep control? This 3-ball looks like it doesn't play by the purple 5, so we'll see here on the 2. It may be a safety coming. Maybe it does slide by. Oh yeah, that's a great camera angle there, and definitely enough room. Could use the rail a little bit. The 3 Austrian players, I think Mario He and Albin kind of favor each other as far as the type of style they play. Very good cue ball, can come with a big shot. Very good percentages. Of course, Lechner, of course, is another great player, but a little different technique.
Simple maths tells you 3 into 2 won't go. And it's always unfortunate one of the Austrians has got to miss out on the World Cup. This time it's going to be Max Lechner. The team will be Mario He and Albin Auschen over in Spain. And of course, that's a tried and tested winning formula.
Yeah, and that really, I don't think has anything to do with, you know, the performance that Team Austria had last year. It's just the way rankings are and so on and so forth. And of course, 2-time champions with Mario He and Albin Auschen representing Austria.
You still have to feel sorry for Lechner, though. He'd
walk
into most teams, wouldn't he?
Absolutely, yeah. We talked about it to start this week that, you know, besides the late entry from David Alcady, every country only had 1 player besides Austria having 3, which is super impressive in all-off rankings. Now Spain, of course, had 2 players. We lost 1 earlier. And a big one it was.
And this is the kind of start you mail in for.
And he really got on with it as well, so you have to like the mentality.
That's what you want. Win the lag, break, and run straight out of the gate. Mario He making a very favourable early impression. So Mario He's had a pretty good career. 29 years of age. He's been winning tournaments since his teenage years. He's 5th in the 9-ball ranking. And as Jeremy mentioned, together with Albin Auschen, he's represented Austria to 2 triumphs in the World Cup of Pool. Other titles have come his way also, and he had a very deep run at the World 9-Ball Championship this year, losing in the semi-final to the eventual winner, Francisco Sanchez-Ruiz. He's a class act.
The second rack, Mario had to break, leading by 1 rack to 0.
Yeah, and there's some matches out there from that event if you want to watch some excitement. Mario He was tangled up in many of them. Remember one with John Moore, I believe, was in the quarterfinals.
Now look how these balls have opened up.
And I'm not sure it was intentional by any means, but he definitely took a little speed off. And did you notice the break and run, and he switched sides on the break? You wouldn't see that very often. Little tricky here on the 3. A little traffic in the way. Yeah, Mario, the way he was playing last year, we thought he may snap off that European Open there in Fulda. Really took a heartbreaker against Albin Ocean, the eventual winner.
Yes, it was also heartbreaking the way he went out of the World Championship. He led FSR 7-2 in that semi-final, but succumbed 11-8.
Yeah, it was, you know, really kind of a replay of a few times we've seen that from Mario with some leads, or it looked like the match was his to win. And things kind of slipped away. And of course, just like in Fulda, you do that against Albin, he's going to make you pay, along with FSR there in Poland at the Worlds.
Extension code.
You're really inspecting this, and it looks like he's got to play this to the upper left and come across for the combination, is what you would suspect. Just an easier pocket for the 3, and the combination not hard. So he'll play the pink 4 onto the green 6. Should be a very light speed. He's gotten himself on the rail, but in a good position to where the pink 4 should be contained over the pocket. They see him go lefty here. He's going to pull out the rest. And he doesn't want to end up short here, so he'll run this 2 rails kind of running towards the head string, the opposite head spot. And the reason why you don't want to end up short is you don't want to have to, you know, flirt with the 8 ball trying to play position on the brown 7. Looks like he's done really well here, getting a natural draw angle off the 7. And conditions, like other sports, mean a lot when it comes to how the players attack. So often on a club table, or a lot of pool tables in a lot of tournaments, to be fair, a lot of the players would rather run the ball, but here on the slick conditions, I think it's more the draw stroke that's used. Well, he looks very settled to me, Phil.
And because the cue action is so orthodox and compact, when he's in a groove, he tends to stay there. You know, this afternoon, James Arenas, even in victory, took 15 racks to run out from the break for the first time. This match, totally different. Mario He immediately into his stride. 2 racks gone, 2 break-in runouts, and already Alexander Kazakis understands the enormity of the task he faces. This is a high-stakes affair, let me tell you that. 2 records will be broken at this year's Whirlpool Masters, the total prize fund, and also the winner receives $40,000 US. Quarterfinals get 6,000, so that's what these 2 are playing for at minimum.
The 3rd rack, Mario
It's
had
a
to break,
big money event,
leading
it's
by
an
2
elite
racks to
event.
0.
And it's one of those tournaments where you could see any of the 16 original entries lifting the trophy at the end of it. And after what we've seen, perhaps more importantly, cashing the check.
Our golden break, cross side.
Mario
And I was just going to bring up, I mentioned earlier that Shane Van Boning wants to win the lag, right? How important is it?
Well, I'll tell you what, after seeing the prize money graphic, Then Mario He was on the money. The 8th golden break of the tournament. In it goes to the side pocket. This has been perfection so far from the Austrian.
Many players, Ko Pin-Yi
Thank you.
won the lag, got
Mario
control of the
He
first game with
leading
some
by 3 racks
safeties.
to 0.
Went on to play a really nice match. Of course, Kachi won the lag in the last. Opened up with a few racks. Now 3 in a row for Panda. He's been on point with the 1 in the side and now dressed up with another nice starter on the red 3.
Jeremy, am I allowed to say roadmap?
I'll tell you what, this is about as good as it gets, especially, you know, once you run a few racks, a lot of players are like, oh, you're perfect, you're in stroke. But the pressure, you know, kind of builds to keep that run going. And I'll tell you what, this is as good a starter to put 4 together as we've seen. Looks like he's fallen a little straight. Nah, he's got an angle.
Ball spotted could not be more one-sided, and I think that figure is going to become even more lopsided after this visit.
Yeah, well, Kazakis hadn't even chalked his cue, much less made a ball, so. And during the golden break, I was just watching. He had position to maybe get another break and run, so. Just been perfect pool for Mario so far. Now where he fell here, he may play from underneath the brown 7. A little near that left long rail. You don't want to get too far underneath it, but just a little bit be all right. Yeah, just like this is going to be really nice. Now he could draw the ball. I kind of like the high ball here. You don't have to get very close to the 8, something like a little past the head string maybe. Maybe a foot or so past the head string. Yeah, real simple little stun shot here out to the center of the table for the 9 in the right side. I had a talk with Carl on the break, and of course he loves seeing Kachi hit the balls firm, and we always talk about Shane being able to hit him so hard with the cut break, but I think that's what a lot of players are going to have to develop. Not saying you have to use it all the time, but you have to have it.
This is total dominance. Mario He playing a very good game. Does he talk one? Let's find out.
I'm feeling excited to play the Whirlpool Masters this year. I prepared a lot for it. I had 2 weeks off and I feel really ready. I'm playing really good now. I think also I'm breaking good, but you never know, you know, when you're at the tournament, something can happen and the break is not working, and then it's gonna affect also your game a little, but I feel really good at my level right now. Alex is a good friend of mine. We already made so many trips together. We know each other very well. We respect each other. I know his weakness, so I think I have a little advantage. I never won a individual 9-ball tournament from Matchroom, so 16 of the best players here and we're battling it out, so it would mean a lot to me, really a lot.
Mario He must be delighted with the way things are going. Oh, but the run is punctuated. The 1 found the side pocket, but the cue ball thwarted him.
Yeah, a little nick off the brown 7, and boy, Kazakis can take a little deep breath of fresh air there. A little ball in hand. But what happens here from 4-0 is Kazakis can afford no mistakes, really. He's just got to play really nice pool. He's got to get out here, of course, and just keep control of the table, whether that's a break and run. I do mention the golden break just because it's been a little bit frequent here at the Whirlpool Masters so far, but or some type of tactical safety here in racks to come. Should get out here, though. red 3 just one rail up to the center of the table for the pink 4 in the upper corner.
We know from past experience in this very tournament that he can put some racks together. Kazakis, when he won in 2021 in Gibraltar, astoundingly, he whitewashed Shane Van Boening 9-0 in the final.
Yeah, well, being in that final prior against David Al-Kaidi, and, you know, a funny decision, some might say, on that case ball. But David had to come with one heck of a bank to take down the title, but probably just was in the stars a little bit for Kazakis in that final, and also he just made sure he was doing everything perfect. Little flat here. He's got to put a little speed into this to come down table for the green 6 on the right side. Uh-oh, watch out, side pocket. And anytime you get flat, that's the problem. When you have to get into the ball a little bit, it doesn't take much to miss your mark with the cue ball. I can't quite tell how thin this is. I think he can just ease this in. May go 3 rails around in between the 8 and 9. That kind of hooked a little bit. Not saying it won't get there, but probably not quite as convincing as he would have liked. Looks like he'll just cheat the pocket a little bit. Come up the side rail for the 9 in the opposite corner. Oh, he drew straight back. Interesting.
The start wasn't great for Alexander, but now he's got a foothold. The scratch was taken full advantage of. Let's hear what Kazakis had to say pre-match.
I'm feeling really excited. I played this event 3 times already, and one time I win, one time I finish second. The year I won the Whirlpool Masters was 2021, and in the final I beat Shane Van Boening. It was the best time in my pool career, I think, but I always look forward to play this event. This is one of my favorite events. I know Mario pretty well. He's one of my best pool buddies. We're traveling around the world together. I know him pretty well, and I know his weaknesses also, so I think I have a little advantage on him. Yes, I think I have the game to win it again this year. I'm really prepared, but also all the other 16 players are prepared. So it's gonna be a lot of a good pool. I need a little bit of luck, and you never know. Maybe I'll do it second time.
Kazakis impatient to get back to the table
Alex
after
Kazakis to break.
opening his account.
The cue ball's got a lot of speed going towards that upper corner. He's going to be okay. I think borderline a little bit on the speed of the break. Now maybe that's after seeing Mario He kind of unleash on the rack. Okay, it does have the 2 by the brown 7. Really not a high percentage shot and nothing for position. So it looks like he's just going to nick the 2, try and drop the cue ball below the purple 5 and the 9. Probably offering some type of jump shot in return. Oh, this could be a little heavy. It's going to be all right. Not the hardest of kick shots And I don't mean just the hit itself, but to get a little something done with the kick. Now he could kick up the table trying to pocket the two. I kind of like going to the side rail, trying to bank the two off the top rail and back down into this congestion, letting the cue ball come across towards the pink 4.
Extension code.
He's going to go to the jump cue, and this is interesting. It's got to make me think he's not going to try and pocket this ball field, not with the position of the red 3, not having a pocket with the brown 7 there. So I think he may 3 cushion this 2 ball around, trying to bring the cue ball behind the 4. Could fluke this in a couple rails off the 8 in the side. We'll see. Oh, he did try to make it. And again, very interesting decision with what looked like a possible scratch and also really no position. The 9 was in the way a moment ago.
He actually got the 9 moving, didn't he, there? A thinner contact. That could have been bingo. Lucky bingo, but bingo nevertheless.
Yeah, and this is always a tough situation here. Pretty smart to bring the 2 ball up. You know, a lot of players would have just clipped the 2, leaving it behind the 7 and getting the snooker that way off the side rail. That leaves an easy return kick. Now this may leave a gap between the 5 and the 3. So he's not going to be happy about that. And he may leave it cross corner. Mario will attack. Oh, he had to kick at it. He's going to serve up a 9 ball.
In the scheme of things, Jeremy, this should be pretty straightforward.
Yeah, absolutely, Phil.
Extension code.
Key to this is just stay in the middle with the speed, not too hard, not too soft. That medium speed kind of opens the pocket up a bit.
At 4-0, it was all one way. But then the scratch on the break from Mario He in rack 5, and things are beginning to pivot. Alexander Kazakis right back in the match, although he remains in front at 4-2.
Well,
So, Jeremy, how was the speed there?
a little better, I think. You know, he's hitting him how he wants. And I think maybe he noticed the speed there in the first one, maybe a hair questionable, but definitely better. A little more movement on the rack. Say this is not easy here. He's shooting away.
Push out code.
Looks like he's going to call the push.
Extension code.
Yeah, the difficult rollout situation anytime there's a lot of congestion near the object ball, that being the lowest valued ball on the table. You don't want to push out to some easy safety. A lot of times you push out to where if your opponent makes a nice shot, they're going to probably snooker you, but it's not a devastating safety. You know you're going to have a playable kick shot, maybe a jump shot. And he's taking a lot of time here, so I doubt he may be rolling out to an edge of the 3 here. Otherwise, it's a rail first shot of some sort. And if he can't see this, I think Mario passes this push out back. Now, if he can see it, I think he's going to cut it in. And it, in my opinion, a very poor push out from Kazakis, or poor selection anyways. Oh, and that as well. That much space below the 3, probably not your best push out. You could tell that was a bit too simple, Phil.
Yeah, when he saw the leave he'd got, he must have been licking his lips.
Now is he just cutting it towards the corner, trying to bring the cue ball behind the 6, 7, 8 down table? Oh, he's going to play it softly. He's trying to use the 4. Going to give a little bottom end of the red 3. Really nice control of the object ball, that being the red 3, and again, something you never really practiced that much of. He can get between the 5, 6 to the bottom cushion. It's not the best angle to kick at the 3, trying to get some containment on the cue ball. He's going to hit the right side of this at best. Oh, he got underneath it decently. He's going to serve up a shot in the side, but looking for a little bit different contact on the red 3.
And all of this can be traced back to that ill-advised push out.
Yeah, I didn't. You know, the push out, you're always going to take the worst of it, or you should, you know, in a sense, be taking the worst of it, but you can't make it simple. You can't roll out to where you'll, never have any chance of getting it back. Okay, this type of shot, because he's got to come to the opposite side of the table, or most likely for the, the side pocket on the bottom of your screen. It's a type of shot you can take your eye off of and miss, believe it or not. That's going to be on top of it a little bit. Should be okay. Just cut the pink 4 to the right side of the pocket. That's what offered a little more cue ball movement.
Extension code.
And this is where, when you're on top of the ball, aiming can get a little distorted. Nice effort.
He's been impressive so far. Yes, okay, he suffered the scratch on the break-off in rack 5 and then played the weak safety in the 6th. But in amongst them, he's looked entirely reliable.
Yeah, and he expected a little more out of that. And I think he noticed kind of what I noticed, a little quick with the backswing, so didn't quite get that pure acceleration through the ball. And nothing wrong with short side. You don't have to force it if you don't like it. That being short side on the black 8, just like this.
At this stage, there's no point whatsoever taking any unwarranted risk.
Yeah, especially if if you had somebody there to remind him, hey, you opened with 4. A golden break was one of them, but the other 3 were very clean, so no reason to go fish too far from the shore.
The mini revival of Alexander Kazakis has ended. Mario He chalks up his 5th rack of the match, and without any doubt, he's looking the more potent of the two. Of course, there's one more match to come this evening. It is the final first round match and it promises to be an absolute cracker. David Al-Kadi on the far side there, up against Shane Van Boening, the only player who successfully defended this title. He won back-to-back in 2014 and 2015. And when Van Boning's in town, it's always a treat. Last year's world champion, of course. And I noticed on the odds for the overall winner before this session began that Van Boening had been installed as favourite.
Still waiting.
Yeah, and rightfully so. And of course, rightfully, FSR was our original favorite, but he bowed out to James Aranis today.
By 5 racks to 2.
All right, his break got him the first 4. Unfortunate scratch in the 5th. And ooh, seeing some variety here. 6 balls up on the top half of the table, so he didn't back off, that's for sure. Nice. Don't know if he can get at the 1 and if it even goes by the pink 4. There is a kiss shot on the pink 4 coming off the right side of the 1. There's actually a kiss shot on the blue 2 as well. It's a shot you would have to know, but it doesn't sit poorly to come off the left side of the 1 and possibly pocket the 2 in the upper left. Probably a safety coming though.
Extension code.
My opinion as well, that man you're looking at is one of the biggest overachievers in the game that I've ever seen. When I first met him, didn't think about it a ton, of course, but didn't know he would get to the status he's gotten in the professional pool ranks. And it looks like he's going for the 1. Yeah, see the 2 there going towards that corner. I think he could have played that 2 ball maybe a little easier than the 1.
And I think, Jeremy, there's enough of the 1 ball just poking its nose out to go.
And when Kazakis has issues, what happens is as the matches go, sometimes his stroke gets a little quicker, a little shorter, and not saying it cost him there at all. It was always going to be difficult. Wonder if he comes around this, or if he, you know, most tables he would just tap this in and play the 3 in the side pocket here. He's going to come by the 3. Good enough speed to kill the cue ball. A lot of times when you're close to it like this, you can really add a little spin here. He's looking to go 3 rails off the red 3, the side cushion between the 7-9 and 2 more cushions back down for the pink 4. So this overhead must really be fooling me. Like I said, when you're inches away from the ball, you can usually manufacture some type of spin to either speed the cue ball up or slow it down. Huge mistake here. Huge. This was a pretty easy out, considering, in a huge moment to get out of line here on the pink 4. He's going to have to play this, though. So watch out corner pocket and the left side pocket for the cue ball. He's going to end up behind the 7. Is it going to come clean? No, it isn't.
The previous shot was poor. After a pot like that, I think he can feel hard done by. That was a good recovery.
Yeah, but I think he understands his mistake really was, I think personally, from the 2 ball, getting to the 3, ended up short there and made it to where it was a possible bad situation. I think a little favorite here.
Caution.
He's really amped up.
Go
Of course, he was close to the 7, but that cue ball got way up in the air.
Start the clock, please.
Onto the cushion rail, into the pocket with the white. And what a bonus this has turned out to be for Alexander Kazakis, who, when he missed the 1 and left it hanging, must have feared the worst.
Yeah, from 4-0, 5-3 looks pretty okay if he can get out here and get to breaking the balls in game number 9. He's gotten a little straight here. Wonder if he's considering drawing back for the 8 in one of the side pockets. I tend to stay away from that myself, but just enough.
It might well have been 6-2. In actuality, it's 5-3, and that's one that has got away from Mario He. A chance, a gilt-edged chance, squandered. Alexander Kazakis. I agree with Jeremy. He makes the most out of what he's got, and he's a real fighter who's disciplined and dedicated. This rack was all about mistakes, though. It really was. First off, Kazakis left that 1 ball hanging in the pocket, and getting past the 5 was just about okay for Mario He. When he did that, we thought he would clear. But as Jeremy said, his position from 2 to 3 left something to be desired, as did from 3 to 4. And then the final kick in the teeth, the scratch. From there, it was going to be plain sailing. So, Jeremy, it's been a day of competitive matches, and this is not bucking the trend.
No, not at all. And I think yesterday was kind of the abnormal, believe it or not. I think we're going to see a lot more of what we've seen on day 2 as we further on. Okay, getting exactly what he wants on the 1 ball. He's going to come away with a nice shot on the blue 2. He's got some work, though. You can see some separation in the brown 7 and the black 8 pinned on the bottom rail.
In this kind of situation, though, separation infinitely preferable to congestion.
Yeah, and I'm not sure. I guess he's okay with this angle on the 4. It looks like he's going away from the purple 5 just a little bit. May have to draw back and take a thinner cut on the 5 than he originally wanted, that being the purple 5. Going forward looks a little dicey to me. May have to, though.
Extension code.
What happens when you have to go off of a full angle? That's where a little flinch on the stroke, maybe a hair of a mishit on the object ball can really affect your speed control. Putting a heavy stroke into this. Yeah, beautiful effort.
Had to apply lots of side to swing it past the potential problem ball, the brown 7. That was avoided, and now 5-4 might well be on the cards.
Yeah, he's perfect to come to the center of the table here, getting the ideal angle on the 6. Of course, what I saw is the real work in the rack from the 7 to the 8. And I think the 7, it looks like it's froze to the side cushion, so maybe it's a hair off. That would help. And the only reason I say that, oh yeah, it is off. Anytime you have to come backwards with the cue ball, with an object ball that's froze to the cushion, very difficult. Oh my, oh my. Ooh. Reminded me a little bit of the Ruiz shot earlier today that caught the point. Now Kazakis in a great spot.
A little jerky, but the 8 ball went in without alarm. This is resilient and resolute. When Mario He sprinted, and I use that word accurately, sprinted into a 4-0 lead, it looked like being one-sided. Not anymore. Kazakis trails only 5-4. Welcome back to the Brentwood Centre, and welcome back to the World Pool Masters. The first round is drawing to a close this evening. The penultimate match in the round features Greece against Austria. Alexander Kazakis breaking off in rack 10, trying to all square the contest. Look at that. Balls in, 1 and 6, but 3 blocking his path to the 2.
Yeah, he's made 3 on the break, and a difficult rollout. Not a lot around that 2 ball, and quite a few around the spot to maybe play a safety off of that 2. Whoever does get control is going to have a lot of work, though.
Push out code.
Now, we weren't, I think both of us weren't too in love with his last push out.
I think it's fair to say this one will be more sensible. Can't be any less sensible, surely.
Extension code.
Yeah, with the 3 on the back rail, I'm not sure if there is a friendly place to roll out and challenge him, maybe. Maybe straight in on the side rail with the cue ball, you know, leaving some type of clip on the ball, maybe, I don't know. I'd hate to leave him easy to where he can, that being my opponent, get me up behind these balls some kind of way. Wow, I don't know about this push-out. Of course, I'm not the jumper these guys are and never have been. A little better than I used to be, but man, he doesn't have a ton of angle. You know, yeah, I would pass this as well. I mean, this has not only got to be hit well to make the ball, but to move the cue ball some 2 cushions, probably about 10 feet down the table, right? A foot to the top rail and then 9 feet back down. Easy to overdraw this too and end up a little short trying to stun draw. He's gonna get a kiss on the cue ball, it looks like, and not a friendly one. I don't know how much angle he has here, but the 3's not in a bad position to come up into that cluster if there's no other kind of opportunities to get at the pink 4 and the purple 5 later in the rack. And I think a suspect push out again, in my opinion, Phil.
Analysing the two, the first one, he left something far too easy. The second, he left himself in clear and obvious trouble.
Extension code.
You know, sometimes what the jump cue does is when you don't know the kick shot, a lot of players will bring out the jump to you quickly. But same thing with the rollout, I think, at times, when they don't necessarily know where to roll out. It's just like, let me make them jump it. And that's not a horrible, way of thinking, but this is the, top 16 players in the world. So I guess the 4-5 combination, the pink 4 onto the purple 5 in the side is playable. Huge game in our match here. Now, if he doesn't like the combination, he could have got to where he could shoot this and stick onto the 9 ball. I think he's going to play the combo with a little high ball. Now, it depends on how much cut there is. I don't know if the 4 is going to move much here. High ball, he may not get shape. Oh, he stunned it. And he's missed it. Huge error at a big moment.
And it's another rack where Kazakis comes back to the table, counting his lucky stars.
Yeah, and, to be fair, a little deja vu for Mario He, in my mind anyways. A match that looks like, unfortunate scratch on the break in the 5th game, but he's had 2 opportunities since after huge mistakes from Alex to get that extended lead, and we're going to be tied here shortly.
For all intents and purposes, he should be in front. That's Mario He, of course. As it is, Alexander Kazakis has fought his way back onto level terms. Remember, at his lowest ebb, he was 4-0 down. Now, he's right back in this, and he's pinching racks that he really should have tucked away. And that was the story of the latest rack we've seen, Jeremy.
Yeah, for sure. That combination, I think, was a little tricky on the 4-5, but the rack previous where Alex had missed the 1 ball and Mario kind of made a little mess of things there. So I wouldn't say momentum changing as much as the mood, maybe.
The start that Mario He made was turbocharged. He broke in around the first rack and the second, plus the 4th. In between, had a golden break in the 3rd.
Rack 11, Alexander
But then he
Kazakis
scratched on the break after knocking in
siege.
balls in the 5th. And from that point on, Kazakis has gradually got back into this.
I still think a little questionable with the speed, in my opinion, just a little bit. And the only reason I say that is what we've already had from the referees so far in this event. I'm not trying to make that call that the referees make, but they've already made it a couple of times, and watching what's going on with it now. Difficult 2 ball, but the 5 did hang, making things a little easier.
We saw a break speed advisory, if you like, then a warning in our very first match of the tournament. Niels Feijen was told to hit them harder, basically. Did him no harm. The referee on that occasion was Desislava Boshilova, who's in charge of this one.
Yeah, she actually talked to her on our break. We talked about that. She asked me about that, and I kind of agreed with her. I'd mentioned it during the broadcast that I thought Neil's, one of his breaks was a little light. So she gave, got a little jabby, a little quick with the stroke. Gonna get a roll behind it. So probably the jump cue coming out. But what happened was she gave, like they did with the second match as well, a friendly reminder to the players about the forceful break, and then eventually gave Niels a warning.
Extension code.
How's he going to play this jump shot? That's the question. I like, if the 6 wasn't there, I tell you the 2-rail kick's pretty nice. Is he going to kick and try and, jump and try and cut this in? Now this is a ball he could whiff totally. Oh, good effort. No whiff there.
All of these technical terms from the Texan.
Well, I think cutting at it probably gave him the best chance at a backdoor safety, trying to get some separation. Just got to get a little nip draw here, straighten the cue ball out, back down for the pink 4. Is the 8 going to become problems? It looks like it. And I'm surprised he went that route. I'm not so sure he didn't hit the cue ball a little bit there, because going with low left just doesn't make sense. Kind of coming straight down the table makes a lot more sense, I thought. And maybe just didn't get the speed on it that he wanted. All right, drawing this ball, trying to tuck the cue ball back in the position where it's at now. Oh, how beautiful is this shot. Really nice, not only with the cue ball, but the object ball as well.
Watching this match, you know, reminiscent of many matches that Alexander Kazakis played when he won this tournament in 2021.
That's got to go a little bit. I thought he did real well with the 4, so I guess that was his main concern. Not worrying about the cue ball as much.
When he triumphed 2 years ago, he didn't really impress until the final. Obviously, he played very well against Shane Van Boening to win 9-0. Prior to that, he just did enough, found a way, even though he wasn't especially eye-catching. And that's exactly what this match has been all about. He's at 5-5, even though in many respects he's been struggling, and that was a shot that will fill Mario He's heart with gladness, something he really badly needed.
Yeah, well, if Mario He had kept up the pace that he started with, even with Alex coming to the table, this could be about 7-3, maybe even 8-3 match right now.
Yes, when he won in 2021, Kazakis, he beat Justin Sage 7-3, then Skylar Woodward. Nothing to write home about. His match against Declan Kachi in the semi-final was error-strewn and disjointed in the extreme. He was really annoyed with the way he played. Kelly Fisher, who was there playing in the tournament, gave him a pep talk before the final, and obviously he was a very different proposition with the title on the line. So you don't have to play your best all the time to win.
Oh, absolutely. We've seen that here already. Lechner and Zielinski didn't play their best pool, got the victory. Albin Ocean and Kachi played a really fine match, and you hate to see either one of them go, and Albin had to exit the event. Just how 9-ball pool is, and always will be, by the way.
Mario He wins the
Mario He hasn't been headed in the match so far, and it remains just like that. The lead now 6-5. He's definitely been the better player, but he's not got a great deal to show for it.
No, not at all. I mean, started off on fire. And just, it's kind of funny like that. You know, if Kazakis goes on to just not make those mistakes, right? Maybe Mario doesn't make any behind him, and it's just funny. It's a very mental game.
In this year's Whirlpool Masters, the first round matches have been extended to race to 9. That means Mario He 2/3 of the way to victory.
All right, there's that one on the side, and how he started the match. A real nice shot on the blue 2. Not so sure the 5 is open up table, the purple 5. It looks like it may have gotten somewhat attached to the 8. You can see that little arc on the cue ball. Definitely intended. Man, I don't think the 5 opened up, Phil.
Yes, in addition, the pink 4, the brown 7, and the green 6 are a little clustered.
I'll tell you, I don't know. It looks like the angle's no good to go one rail at the 5/8. It looks like you'll have a little trouble getting by the pink 4. But it wouldn't be bad. The angle's real natural if it was open, just to go open it now and have the 3 kind of laying there. But tell you what, this is a funny shot, just getting position on the 3. He's gonna go into him. No, he went by him.
First to get to 50 balls spotted, but as I said before, the lead could hardly be more slender. And this is very much a rack the way the balls have configured. They can fall either way.
Yeah, he tracked the cue ball all the way up the table and back down to mid-table and fell straight on the 3, really restricting his options. May play a little kiss shot on the 6 here. The problem is, I think he still has a big issue with the purple 5 up the table. Now, you wouldn't want to hit this with a lot of speed. Because anytime you're playing a kiss shot, hard to determine how the cue ball is going to come off that second ball. Well, he put a lot of speed on it, so he took a little chance with the cue ball. And he's going to end up with a nice angle here, so a little more difficult shot to make, but I think it may offer some type of play getting at that purple 5 attached to that black 8.
Extension code.
Yeah, I don't know if he can get at it. Looks to me if he hits a high ball, he'll hit the side rail, the top rail near the 5 and 8, and then just go by it. Don't force it here if it's not there. The cross corner bank or a safety off the 5 isn't the worst thing in the world. It looks like, well, he did get into it. Great shot. Is the 5 gonna agree? Ooh, wow.
the way he played that, the way he thought about the shot and visualized it, then the execution, he deserved more than he's got.
Yeah, and I don't even know if he has a playable 5-ball, and certainly a difficult decision with the brown 7 across the table. No easy safety, though. So he may have to take this on whether he plays safe on the 7 or not. Oh, my. Look at how deep these side pockets are. Wow.
No balls in front of the white, but Kazakis is snookered nevertheless. Look at this.
And sometimes they'll save you, Phil.
Extension code.
Look at this. He's going to jump the point. Wow. Well, this is pretty difficult. Normally, if there's enough space, that you can't really get on the cue ball how you want. Look at him darting it. See the hand position of the right hand. Wow. He got unlucky. He landed on the rail.
Bow in hand.
Well, he missed the point at least.
Yeah, he got over the point, then landed on the rail right before the 5. Really nice effort. Just a difficult situation. When do you think the last time he practiced that one was, Phil?
Just what I was thinking. You probably never even envisaged the shot coming up in any match, let alone at the Whirlpool Masters with so much on the line. Anyway, Mario He has knocked in the ball, and now a 2-rack advantage should be re-established.
He's going to get a little thin here. Should be okay. Just got to manage the speed and not take his eye off the black 8. Looks like perfect speed.
You've just seen one of the most
Mario He wins the rack.
unusual snookers you're ever likely to witness, and it could be so consequential. Mario He acknowledges his good fortune, and he goes 7-5 in front. Rack 12 was all about the jaws of the middle pocket. How did the cue ball stay there? It certainly stymied Alexander Kazakis, who had a valiant effort to try and jump over the point to make contact with a 5. He didn't achieve it, and from that point it was pretty obvious that Mario He was going to clear to take a 2-rack lead at 7-5, so only 2 more needed for the Austrian. This was the 9-ball that sealed that useful cushion as the match builds to its crescendo. I'm
Rack
sure
13,
Kazakis can't quite
Mario
believe what
He
happened there, Jeremy.
leading by 7 racks to 5.
Yeah, the entire package. First, Mario missing and snookering him, and then the jump shot that caught the rail before hitting the purple 5. Oh, and a golden break as well.
This is extraordinary. That's 9 in the tournament now. The preponderance of golden breaks, I think it's the most extraordinary I've seen in any tournament that Matchroom have done. And they keep coming, don't they? In every match, it seems, we're getting 1 or 2. Last night, in one match, we had 4. And this is at a very, very pivotal moment in the contest. It puts Mario He very swiftly on the hill.
Yeah, and he's made 4 balls on the break there as well. Of course, he hit him exactly how he wanted. Not saying anything about the 9 going in, but really nice break off. And now with his last break off, we'll see what happens.
It must be an Austrian thing because, of course, Max Lechner, in his victory over Mohamed Soufi, had 3 golden breaks. Now he's weighed in with 2. He'd love another one to wrap things up, and who's to say it won't happen?
That's right. And Albin Ocean, even in a loss, had a golden break against
Mario
Kazakis.
hit the break on the hill, leading 8-5.
So the man from the country synonymous with mountains finds himself on the hill.
Oh, the cue ball, it needs a kiss, and it got it. It was going to get lost in that upper right-hand corner. He is snookered on the blue too, but a lot better than surrendering ball in hand.
And to a much lesser extent, the 9 was moving around there.
Yeah, and I think overall we're just seeing something that's going to happen every blue moon, right? But we've already had this break rule in place for many tournaments, and we've seen some golden breaks, but we actually have seen, like we talked about earlier, more scratches when the cue ball goes back into the 9 than quite the opposite, the 9 falling in either the corner or the side. He must like a kick shot here, and this is a funny situation. Up 8-5. I don't know if I take on the kick here versus the push. Now he hit it beautifully. Can't hit it any better. Everything about it got the blue 2 in a very protected position, and a big bonus with the cue ball behind the brown 7. The heat's on Kazakis. And that was fairly by design, the entire part of it, every part of it, excuse me. Now, if he can hit this, he's got a lot of good things that can happen. This doesn't appear to be one of them.
Not inconceivable. That could be his last shot of the tournament.
Yeah, and it should be, the form that Mario showed most of this match and what we're used to seeing from him. He's got to make a little bit of a delicate shot coming between the purple 5 and 6 here, but shouldn't be too much of a problem. Okay, he's gotten a little straight, so he's going to have to take a bit of a shot on the pink 4 to the lower right corner. Don't really see him trying to move the cue ball a whole lot here. Now the problem is he going to be a little awkwardly stretched trying to shoot that shot? He may try to draw this ball into the 6, maybe. Is that what he's looking at? And he tied the 6 up, so there could be a kiss shot on the 9 coming off the green 6. But now the good thing is the 5's near, even though he is at the the pink 4 right now. I was going to say he could easily get a breakout angle off the purple 5 into the green 6, and I don't know if I would play the combo here or the kiss shot. He does have a cross corner bank that's a possibility, but he's perfect to go right into the green 6 here. I wonder if he even notices that. Now he does, but he's taking a lot of time, so.
And the position of the 6 is the last vestige of hope, you would think, for Kazakis. And now that hope might well have been extinguished.
Yeah, he's got to play still a little nifty shot here. Odds are we're going to lose another former champion. He's got options here. He can come 2 rails kind of softly behind the 8 for the 7, the brown 7 in the upper left. He can kind of pull the ball a little bit and come underneath the 7 off of a couple cushions with maybe a little low right. I think that's the route he's going, just all speed control. Yeah, that's the shot I initially saw. He made that look much easier than it actually was.
There's no doubt in my mind whatsoever he has been the superior player in the match, but that said, in the last few racks, things have gone very much in his favour. I think it's a deserved victory, no doubt. But in mid-match, at times he was toiling. Alexander wasn't so great. He was the man. Mario He through to the quarterfinals to take on Eklenkachi by a score of 9-5 in an incident-packed contest